Identical twins, what's the greatest thing you've achieved by swapping places? My twin and I have pulled a lot of switches and pranks before, but this particular one stands out in my mind all too well. Sophomore year of college, my brother was taking a Psychology 101 class as a prerequisite. On one particular Tuesday, he approached me with a dilemma that he needed my help with. Thursday around noon he had an exam in psych, but that same morning his girlfriend's family was flying out to California to go to Disneyland and they picked him up a plane ticket. Of course I told him, okay bro, I'll go to Disneyland for you. But we all know that wouldn't be the case no matter how much I tried. He left me with all of the material I'd need and I started studying away in the hopes of acing this exam for him, or not heinously screwing up his grade. Here was the catch with the exam room. This professor was notorious for making it impossible to cheat. We'll call him Mr. J for this one. Mr. J had 7 TAs who would walk around during the exam and check the 2 forms of ID he required you to have and would constantly walk up and down the aisles to check for any form of cheating. My brother, having known this, left me with some of his IDs and wished me all the best. Exam time comes and I'm unaliving it. Just in case they'd notice any minute differences in looks or handwriting, I wore a backwards hat and wrapped up my hand as though it was injured. You can never be too sure. Now my twin and I love to play pranks on each other. It's just what we do. So I can't help but notice a cute blonde TA that is walking the aisles. The first time she passes me, I look up and give her a smile, almost like a cocky grin. The second lap through I look up again and whisper hi with an almost innocent smile. This continues throughout the exam until the last run through I whisper to her that I think she's cute. As luck would have it, she blushed and said I was too. When I went to turn in my exam, someone from on high was smiling down on me because she approached and gave me her number. Of course, she wasn't giving me her number, she was giving my brother her number. Knowing this, I told her I'd call her that weekend. Next week of class, she approached my brother and asked him why he never called. I wound up getting him a B and no one was the wiser. However, our story continues on 2 years later. I needed one more elective to graduate, and I figured I'd take the psych class that held the funny memory. The semester was going fine until one day, I get an email from Mr. J, a very angry email, asking me to meet with him before class starts. As it turns out, the world could not be any smaller. Mr. J's mother, we'll say Mrs. M, lived in an apartment complex designed for the elderly. In this same complex resided my grandma who raised my brother and I. The two of them happened to become best friends. Mrs. M invited over her son, Mr. J, to have lunch with my grandma and herself. It was there that the topic of twins was brought up and my grandma told a wonderful tale of how her twin grandsons pulled this heist off in a psychology class, all the while not knowing how it was his psych class. Oh, he had some questions for me. I went down to meet with him, expecting certain expulsion for myself and or my brother. Luck was on our side though, because he just wanted to know exactly how we pulled it off. Every little detail he made note of. He spoke to the class, and it's to my knowledge that he tells the same story every semester now, and informed them that the only evident way to cheat in his class was to have an identical twin brother. But now they know to look for that. Also, hats are no longer allowed when taking the exam. I was not punished for it because he said I helped him out and all I did was get my brother a B, so it made him laugh.